What if Voldemort had never existed? How would the wizarding world transform without the shadow of its greatest villain? Let's explore this alternate reality, where the absence of the Dark Lord changes the lives of our favorite characters in unexpected and often controversial ways. First, let's start with Tom Riddle. In this world, imagine that Tom is discovered early on by a wizarding social worker, someone who recognizes his potential and nurtures him before his darker instincts can take root. Instead of growing into Voldemort, Tom becomes a brilliant scholar, revolutionizing magical theory. But would his hunger for power vanish entirely? Perhaps he channels it into politics, rising to prominence in the Ministry of Magic. Could Tom Riddle become a controversial figure, a reformer with authoritarian tendencies rather than a full-blown dictator? Would he still leave a mark, albeit a less devastating one? Without Voldemort's attack on the Potters, Harry grows up in a very different world. Lily and James survive, raising their son in a loving household. But would this Harry Potter still become a hero? Without his scar or fame, he might live in the shadow of other students. Perhaps his biggest rival would be none other than Cedric Diggory. Cedric, in this reality, becomes the embodiment of everything Hogwarts values: bravery, kindness, and talent. Without the chaos of Voldemort interfering in the Triwizard Tournament, Cedric's life isn't cut short. He wins the competition, earning widespread admiration. Over time, his leadership qualities shine, and he becomes a beacon of hope for the wizarding world. But could this golden boy image lead to jealousy among his peers? How would Harry feel about being outshone by someone like Cedric, who might even step into the limelight Harry never had? Meanwhile, Hermione Granger's path takes a fascinating turn. Without the trio dynamic forming in their first year, Hermione becomes a solitary figure, dedicating herself fully to academics. She grows disillusioned with the magical world's prejudice against Muggle-borns and becomes a fierce advocate for equality. In this timeline, Hermione doesn't just join the Ministry of Magic, she transforms it. Her reforms make her a polarizing figure, loved by some and hated by others. Could Hermione's relentless pursuit of justice make her blind to the nuances of magical traditions? Draco Malfoy's story is equally intriguing. Without Voldemort, the Malfoy family remains influential but less extreme. Draco grows up without the pressure to follow a dark path. Would he become a friend to Harry, or perhaps a rival for entirely different reasons? Imagine Draco excelling in academics, challenging Hermione for top honors at Hogwarts. Or perhaps he channels his ambition into sports, becoming a Quidditch star and proving that purebloods can excel without dark magic. Neville Longbottom, on the other hand, experiences a profound transformation. With his parents never tortured by Bellatrix Lestrange, Neville grows up in a loving household. His confidence blossoms, and he emerges as one of Hogwarts' most courageous students. Without the weight of self-doubt, could Neville become the hero the wizarding world never expected, stepping into a leadership role that might rival Dumbledore's legacy? But this isn't just about individuals. The absence of Voldemort creates ripple effects across the entire magical community. The Ministry of Magic, without the constant fear of dark wizards, becomes complacent, perhaps even corrupt. In this peaceful world, new threats emerge, not from dark magic, but from within. Grindelwald, for instance, remains a lingering menace. Without Voldemort overshadowing him, his ideology gains more traction, leading to a prolonged conflict. Could the magical world, so focused on its own comfort, fail to recognize Grindelwald's growing power until it's too late? Let's not forget the role of magical creatures. Without Voldemort, the giants remain isolated, and the Dementors remain under Ministry control. But what happens when these beings, used as tools by wizards, begin to rebel? Could a new uprising force wizards to confront their own biases and treatment of non-human beings? And what about the Hogwarts houses? Without Voldemort's influence dividing students, the inner house rivalries might take a different shape. Imagine Slytherin striving to prove their worth not through cunning schemes, but through excellence in academics and sports. Gryffindors, no longer united against a common dark enemy, might splinter into factions. Would Hogwarts become more harmonious or even more divided? Now let's circle back to Harry. In this Voldemort-free world, would he ever rise to greatness? Or would he remain an ordinary wizard, living a quiet life away from the spotlight? Without a clear purpose driving him, Harry might struggle to find his place in the wizarding world. But perhaps that's the beauty of this alternate timeline. Heroes emerge not from destiny, but from choice. Finally, we return to the big question: is a world without Voldemort truly better? While his absence spares countless lives, it also removes the crucible that forged heroes like Harry, Neville, and Hermione. Without adversity, would the wizarding world stagnate, leaving room for new, subtler dangers to grow? This alternate reality invites us to reflect on the nature of conflict and the role of villains in shaping history. Would you trade the sacrifices of the original timeline for a more peaceful but flawed world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This is a debate worth having. If you like the video and don't want to miss the next one, subscribe. I will be very grateful.